Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will be doing a species spotlight on our Drosera over here. So stick around. If you're new to this channel is dedicated to the care and cultivation of carnivorous plants, just like this Drosera over here. So if you think that is something that will interest you, please consider subscribing to the channel because we are so close to 1,000 subscribers now, and I cannot wait to hit that milestone with you guys. So thank you very much for everyone, and thank you for your support, and let's start the species spotlight on this Drosera. So I just want to apologize to everyone about the videos schedule that we had in the past couple days. I recorded a video on Wednesday to upload on Thursday. No, I recorded a video on Wednesday, I think it was, to upload on Thursday. And what happened was that it just wouldn't upload onto YouTube. I tried for 12 hours, it just wouldn't upload. And then yesterday's video, which is coming out today on Saturday, yesterday's video uploaded just fine. So I'm like, what the f is going on here? So I changed a very little bit in that video and I'm re-rendering it. And it's almost done now, so I will upload that. And hopefully for you guys, you should see that there were 2 videos posted today on Saturday. And today on Saturday is our Saturday species spotlight, which is what I'm recording right now, and that should be out for you guys tomorrow on Sunday. So I'm really sorry about that, guys. I had set out a goal to post a video every single day for this week, but obviously YouTube just wouldn't let it upload, and I contacted YouTube support. They didn't know why either. So yeah, I just hope that re-rendering it and will allow it to get uploaded. I don't know what the hell is going on with it, but yeah, anyway, this channel is about plants, not about technology. So let's start looking at our Drosera eremae. And here we go, guys. This is our Drosera eremae. It's a pink flower version. So yeah, obviously it makes pink flowers, and it's very beautiful. This guy actually was not coming up for us until a couple days ago when we had that cold snap that you hear me talking about very often. It was super cold, and these guys literally exploded with growth, as you can obviously tell. And they're literally just popping everywhere and growing everywhere. And I really love this growth habit because it's quite different to all the other plants that we've had so far. As you can tell, they have some growth right at the base of the plant. They make like one leaf right on the bottom of the ground, and then they just shoot up their stem and just literally just throw their traps out in every single direction. Very cool. It kind of reminds me of a flare. You know how a flare, it explodes and then little pieces fly off everywhere and go in different directions. It kind of looks like the same thing to me, with one base stem in the middle and all the traps flying off in different parts. It really is quite a beautiful plant. And guys, just to let you know, if you stick around at the end of the video, we will be feeding this Drosera just like we feed all of our other Drosera. So don't forget to stay until then, guys. It's something that I really enjoy doing, and watching them on a time lapse is super interesting. So as I've explained, guys, this plant has some super awesome growth. It is very different to what I've ever seen before in all of our other tubers. And on that note, it is important to talk about how to actually look after and care for these guys. So this is a tuber. It is in about an 18 centimeter pot. At this level over here is where they generally would have their tubers. And from that level down is all roots, and from there upwards is their stolons, where their growth comes from. It is in a sand and peat mixture. It is a ratio of 2:1. And during winter time, you let these guys sit in a water tray. And in summertime, you let them dry out and you water them very little, maybe once every 2 weeks, just so that the tubers don't dry out and die inside of the soil, because that's when they go dormant. Now, this plant has obviously recently come up for us, but is growing very quick. So let's figure out how tall it is right now, and maybe we can kind of guess how tall it will be in a couple weeks time. So here we are back with the plant on the tabletop, and I have brought with me a tape measure. So let us check the height. So that is 5 centimeters, about 2 inches for all the American viewers. And this has been about a week of growth. I presume that the plant will be about 6 or so inches in 4 weeks of growth. And here we can see, you can see 4 inches on the screen, but you know, you're gonna have to look up to see 6 inches. So I assume that this plant is not gonna get that tall in that short of a time frame. This is really just a guess. But what do you guys think it will grow to in another 3 weeks? How tall do you guys think it will get? Let me know in the comments what your guesses are. And obviously once we reach that 4-week mark, we can then see who actually got closest to the comment, and I'll shout you out in that video. So I've said this now so many times. Tuberous Drosera are plants that are native to Australia, and quite a few are also native to New Zealand and also Tasmania, which is basically part of Australia. And they are super beautiful plants. As I said, they make their tubers underground, and the reason for this is because in summertime it gets super hot in Australia, as most of us know, that they can't keep their leaves up above ground because obviously when it's super hot like this, it becomes very dry and they don't get any rain during the summertime. So they form their little tubers underground and they go to sleep, and then come winter time, when the rains come back, then they start growing and they make these awesome traps like this. But this guy is a trap that is quite different to our other tuberous Drosera that we've spoken about on the channel so far. I've already spoken about its growth habit a little bit now, but also its traps are very round. The traps kind of resemble that of Drosera menzicii, but obviously the plant looks nothing alike it. In fact, it's actually a completely different color. This plant is green, but our Drosera menzicii is red. So let's take a little bit of a closer look at their traps. So I've kind of put the camera a little bit underneath the plant so you can really see the traps up against the black background over here. But you can really see how round and beautiful these traps are. They're kind of like a Solaris, you know, quite round with all the sun rays sticking out from them. And I assume that they can catch really big insects because of how wide these traps are. So why don't we measure how long these traps actually are? You can see on screen that the traps are about 1 centimeter, which is basically the same size as our Drosera menzicii. So these guys are obviously quite big little traps and can most probably catch some pretty big sized insects, you know. As I've said, these guys are super awesome plants that grow in wintertime. And the reason why it is so great that they grow in winter is because all of our other carnivorous plants, such as Sarracenia, Venus flytraps, and some other types of Drosera generally go to sleep in wintertime. And this means that we have other plants to look after in wintertime, and those other plants are obviously our tuberous Drosera. There are many different types of tubers, as you would know if you've been following this channel. And this is just one of the 12 tubers that we have so far. And we have tons and tons of new babies busy coming up. It was only very recently where this plant was actually seen as its own species. Before, it was lumped in a species of Drosera macrantha, and this was subspecies eremae, but I do understand why they would say that. But these traps look nothing similar to the macrantha traps. These traps are so wide and open, whereas the macrantha traps are kind of upside down and like jellyfish tails. It's very interesting how they have recently renamed it and moved it into its own group. And they've actually done this with quite a few of the tuberous Drosera that we have right now. One more update that I want to give you guys on about all of our pots is that if you remember, we potted these guys together and we put a layer of sphagnum moss right at the bottom. Now some people may be like, okay, you can put the layer there, but over time the layer will fall out and you know the sphagnum moss will decompose, whatever. But I found that the sphagnum moss at the bottom over here has lasted really long, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna run away anytime soon. It's actually very good, especially for our tubers, because what happens is that the sand is so fine that if you sit them in water and you pick them up and you put them back in, whatever, the sand will slowly fall out and you'll lose all the media inside of your pot. So obviously having this base of sphagnum moss here at the bottom keeps it all inside. And I'm so glad that it's lasted so long, because I used to use kitchen towels and split that in half to make it from a 2-ply to 1-ply, and that was really thin. But what would happen is that it really kept the base of the plant away from water, and I don't understand why, but the plants at the top, the peat, would not stay as moist as what it would have if I didn't have that at the bottom. But the sphagnum moss really allows the water to flow through really easily, and obviously it stays there for a super long time, and I really love that. Okay guys, now I've spoken about this amazing little plant and their super interesting growth habits where their stems and traps look like little flares, and their traps are very round and Solaris-like and very similar to Drosera eremae. But now it's time that we feed this plant and put it under a time lapse. So I have readjusted the camera. We'll be focusing on this trap right here, and I've got a little bit of an ant to put over. This ant is like not very alive. I don't know why it's not moving, but let's put him on and see how the trap reacts. Wow guys, I think I'm just going to turn the camera for you so you can see the ant struggling from the side here. He's about to get free. Oh, he's just got into another trap. Oh no. He's stuck in 2 traps now. Let's see what he does. Now I don't mean to interrupt guys, but this ant is eating the sticky substances that is on its body, and these sticky substances are getting stuck in its jaws. And another thing about these sticky substances is that they actually cause the insect to become a little bit drunk, if you might say so. So what's actually happening is that this guy's trying to free himself by cleaning himself, but he's getting drunk and will eventually lead to him being so drunk that he won't be able to get out at all. So let's see how he manages this, guys. He looks like he's very close to getting out. And if he does get out, don't worry guys, I will let him go free because he has earned that. But there's a very good view on the camera right now of what he's trying to do. And I think that the traps are moving very, very quick as well. So let's see what goes on in the time lapse. Guys, I am so intrigued here. I cannot believe how intelligent this ant is. It's trying to free its leg and it's reaching down to the ground to try to pull itself out. It is also using the other traps to pull itself using those traps closer to the ground so that it can get free. And he's almost accomplished it. Or she has almost accomplished it. This is insane, guys. I honestly never thought that these ants were so intelligent. And I also didn't expect this ant to be so lively. I saw this ant outside and it really looked like it was half dead. And I thought, you know what, the birds might have pecked at it a little bit and it's not moving at all. So that's why I brought it in. But wow, guys, this ant is more than alive. It is insane how clever it is as well. She's almost freely escaped and I cannot wait to see what will happen here. What do you guys think? Do you think the ant will win? Or do you think the plants will be able to hold on to this little ant until she eventually tires out? Let me know what you guys think in the comments, guys. And let's continue with the time lapse. Okay guys, I think this has gone on long enough. I don't want this little ant to continue suffering like this. Obviously, it is super strong and the trap just cannot contain it. So what I will do is I will take this ant outside now and put it back outside, and I will just call this a draw because I don't want to see this little ant suffer anymore. There we go guys, the ant is off. Let me go put her outside now. Okay guys, seeing as this plant was in such a big fight basically with this ant, and obviously the plant felt more damage than the ant did because the ant was biting off all the little traps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this plant some fish flakes to make up for it. There we go. A nice big fish flake. The plant will slowly eat these fish flakes, and wow guys, let me just turn this camera around. Okay guys, so I recorded for about 30 minutes and this was insane. I have never seen anything like that before. I've never seen an ant, you know, fight and get out like that, and it's never been that, I don't want to say entertaining because I actually feel really bad for that little ant. I honestly didn't know that little ant was so alive. I really thought that it was injured and, you know, basically on its deathbed, which is why I thought I'd give it to the plant. I honestly didn't expect that to happen, and I really didn't expect the ant to overpower the plant like that and be so intelligent. That was insane, guys, and I'm really sorry to everyone who may be upset about that. I feel very sad about the little ant that I had to put it through that. But as I said, she's outside. She obviously had that. She obviously ate the droplets and stuff, but she didn't actually consume them. I was watching her pull them off and then throw them off of her body because she wasn't eating the droplets, she was cutting it off. It was very intelligent stuff. But yeah, as I say, I just feel so bad for that little ant, and I've never seen anything like this in my 11 years of growing carnivorous plants. I've never experienced something like that, and I've never felt so bad for an insect like that before, guys. So if you guys enjoyed this video, if you found it a little bit entertaining, or if you found some newfound knowledge like I did about that ant, please remember to click on the like button. And if you want to see more of our weekly updates, remember to subscribe to the channel because we do an update every single week on our plants, and we will obviously do an update on this plant to see how the trap actually looks after a couple of days after it has been cut off by the ant. So yeah, once again guys, I feel very bad for that little ant, but she's okay now. I moved her back outside she can go continue like walking around very slowly and looking half dead, I guess. But yeah, now I've fed the plants and let me go put it back outside, but it's super dark. As I said, it was a very long video that I just recorded, so I'll see you guys in the next episode.